Hi, my name's Scott Dunn. I'm a teacher now. I've taught for 11 years in mainstream and special needs, but prior to that, I've done a few other jobs, so I'll go through them first. Through university, I was an Army Officer Cadet with the Birmingham University Officer Training Corps. I learned loads of military skills and thought about going to join the Army as an officer in the Education Training Services. In my third year, I spent a year in Berlin, which was absolutely fantastic. I worked with children with special needs and physical disabilities in a special school. Went on summer camps with them. We went up to the north coast of Germany and camped, and we had to deal with all the things that involved letting them access the facilities around. So that was great. That really gave me the bug for teaching and made me think, actually, yeah, teaching might be the thing I need to do. I still went to Sandhurst and spent a year there, being an Army Officer Cadet there, but prior to finishing that, family commitments at home and some slight issues with my stepson meant that I needed to go back up to Liverpool to look after them. So leaving the Army, I went back and was offered a job as an IT programmer through a friend who I was tutoring for. I tutored her daughter maths, and she said that the logical way of thought was great for being a programmer. So I worked there for a year, but again, by pure fate or chance, the opportunity arose to work in a special school in Formby. I worked there for 4 years, beginning with a school which had an awful lot of students with social, emotional, and behavioural difficulties. It was a specialist school just for that kind of student, but they were really having difficulties with behaviour and general management. We took the school from being in special measures, as Officer puts it, which was really struggling, all the way through to the top grading, which is outstanding, which was fantastic. In a short space of 4 years, we actually got students more qualifications. We turned the school around and we developed a really strong teaching team, which was excellent. After those 4 years, however, and having done my basic teaching qualification on the job, I decided I really needed some mainstream experience to allow me to talk to peers and colleagues and not to be running my own department, which I was doing. I was running a science department on my own, to being part of a larger team. So I managed to get a job at Chesterfield High School in Crosby, which was, again, a fantastic experience. Really brought me out of my shell, got me to interact with biology teachers, physics teachers, chemistry teachers, and specialists, to learn how to use the BTEC qualification system and work with the team to develop and provide that, and to learn an awful lot from technicians, because science teaching in physics and chemistry, for example, can be really tricky without a technician, as I found out in my first 4 years. From this point, I went on, after the 2 years contract came to an end, I went on back into special needs. I worked at pupil referral unit, where I was taken on as the inclusion coordinator for the area. That meant in the morning I was still teaching science, which I was thrilled about, but afternoons I ran an inclusion course, which I planned, developed and ran, recruited children for and visited schools for, liaising with headmasters, assistant heads and all the people involved in inclusion work with students. That meant that I was going out most afternoons, I was running out with burn course, I was doing personal, social and health education, teamwork skills and other things that help students develop the self-confidence to become better members of the classes they're involved in, and to deal with some of the behaviours that they were demonstrating that made them really struggle to access regular school. From this point, as time went on, I was given more and more responsibility within the school. I did my national professional qualification for specialist leaders in behaviour and attendance. That was a year-long course where I worked with loads of professionals in the area, other teachers, heads, and administrators in different schools who had some kind of function in behaviour work. So I learned an awful lot in that course, and also developed a number of contacts who I still keep in touch with today. Following 4 years at the pupil referral unit, however, due to a huge restructure in the school, I decided it was time to leave. As I've been doing some work freelance outside of school, I then started doing translation as I speak fluent German. I worked for Ed Lounge writing lesson content, and through the work with Ed Lounge, I was taken on full time the following September by Sam at Ed Lounge, who's the managing director, to be their student support operative, basically the person on the phone, on the computer support, who works with all the students for the schools that we work with around the country, giving them an idea of how to do science, maths, English, history, all kinds of questions, and to support them in the 7,500 lessons that we have online. My other roles included marking, coursework assessment, and planning of the science curriculum and matching what lessons we had and writing new content for them in order to provide a real wide basis for science teaching especially. I've edited maths, English, history lessons and checked content for factual accuracy, and I've gone through a lot of bugs in the system, so quality assessment and quality assurance as well. Parallel to all of this, I've also done a lot of tutoring. My first job in programming came through tutoring a 10-year-old who was learning maths for her SATs and just needed a confidence boost. She did fantastic, came out to level 6. Level 5, but she was working on a 6. From that point, I've tutored other students through word of mouth at GCSE level, science and maths, all different exam boards and specifications. I've done academic writing and editing and proofreading through a number of websites that people have looked for support and help with. And then I've also done A-level biology and A-level physics teaching, which has been a fantastic opportunity. In order to support all of my teaching work, I've done a couple of residential courses through Goldsmiths, which was dead exciting. That was down towards London. The first one was the particle physics course at Brunel University, where I got the opportunity to visit CERN in Geneva for a day, and it blew me away. The size, the scale, the sheer amount of work and time that it took to build that thing was incredible, but it gave me a real practical example of how to demonstrate to students what I could do. A couple of years later, I then went on the biology course. It was a genetics course which was run at Sanger Labs in Cambridgeshire. So we saw how all the DNA processing was working, we saw the computer stuff, and again, I've used this a number of times with my teaching these days. In my free time, I love going out and socialising with other teachers. I've done something called Fame Lab in Manchester. There was regional heats, which I've always got through to the semi-finals on in 2 separate occasions in doing science presentation. Sadly, I didn't qualify for the finals, but I thought it was quite an exciting opportunity to go and talk about subjects I love for 3 minutes and present some area of science that I really got enthusiastic about. I'd just love to talk to you more about science in general, but I think that'll do.